Hi guys, one more try at this. I think I might have worked out what was happening. I think my iPad had started recording me as well. I think that's what it was. I'm just going to share this with everyone as well. Um, Let's have a look. Okay, right, let me see. I think this is working now. So let me find the link and I'll post it to everyone on Facebook. Fingers crossed you guys find me. Let's see. There we go. Okay, just posting it to Facebook so everyone can try and find me. Just gonna change this. There we go. Sorry guys if anyone's watching this in real time. I'm just trying to get the live stream back up. I think I've managed to fix it. Hi Rebecca. Cool. I'm just going to try and post it so everyone can find me, and then we'll try going from there. Sorry about this, everyone. What a palaver, eh? I'm just going to copy the link and put it in YouTube. There we go. Fantastic. Put it there, and then let's just put it on a few other ones as well. Sorry about this, guys. Nearly there, and then we'll get back on with the teaching. Okay. Okay, right. Let's try it. Just post it in a couple more places, and then I'm all yours. Sorry, guys, about this. Let me just put it on here in the group. There. And I'll put it on Learn Ukulele with Matt, and then we're good to go. Okay. Okay, right. There we go. Fab. Oh, so sorry, guys. I know I've probably lost loads of you, but hopefully people will find me in a minute. I'll stitch these together later on when I do the replay, so you don't have to sit through all this again, and it'll all make sense. So sorry, folks. I know exactly what it is, and I've just worked it out. I accidentally switched the mic on my iPad, so I was being recorded from two places at once, and that was what that echo was. So I'm so sorry, guys. Can you guys let me know how far we got? I think it was starting the second section. We were going from measure 16, I think, where we get to the high bit. I'll see if I can bring it on screen. If I echo again for a minute, don't panic. It's just as I bring my iPad on, I'll switch it off again once it's once that's in place. So let's see if I can find it. Just put that in again. There we go. Ah, brilliant. Thanks, Rebecca. There we go. Let's see if I can get this iPad without recording me. Yeah, this should work. Fantastic. Okay. So I'm going to go again from the end of measure 16, the 10-8, the end of measure 16. Let me bring that up there. Okay. And I'll just play that through really, really slowly for you with the sheet music up. So we've got, brilliant. Yeah, Shona says it was measure 16. That's great. So we've got this. Okay. And I'll do that in close cam so you can follow me. So this is from the 10-8. Thanks, Wayne. I didn't crack up this time. There we go. Welcome back, folks, by the way, that have found me. This is a new live stream because the last one broke. Hopefully you guys will all find me again in a minute. Yay! Yay! I'm not sweating too much on this, Gav. Okay. Now, the next bit, we have another one of these kind of hammer-ons. Again, this is kind of optional. You could leave this out if you want to. But notice on this D minor measure, we've got this 7-8-7. So what we're going to do is a quick hammer-on from 7 to 8. And I actually like to do a double hammer-on pull-off. So I'll hammer from 7 to 8 and then take my finger off again. See how you can hear 3 notes? Have a little try of that. So 8, 7, 8. If you find it tricky, you can just do it as 3 notes. But we're going to do it really quick, Liz. Can you hear that? And then we travel down the fretboard 5, 3, 2. Up to 5. And then a hammer-on 10 to 12. And back again. Okay, I'll bring the sheet music up and I'll play it for you. So I'm going to go from the hammer-on that D minor measure, the 7-8-7. It'll sound like this. 3, 4. Up to 10. Okay. If I do it with the 10 and 8 at the start of the D minor measure, that will sound like this. There we go. Fantastic. I think I've got a question that's come in from Rebecca, who's asking, what's the trick to pulling off without pulling the A string off the fretboard? That's a great question, Rebecca. So sometimes when we pull off, yeah, I know exactly what you mean. You can kind of bend the string down and take it off the fretboard, which obviously sounds horrible and is really uncomfortable, like this. So what you want to do is, as you hit that note on 7, this E note here with your first finger, keep it relatively forcefully on the string. And as you come onto this one, you can pull down, but try and imagine this one's glued to the fretboard. And then that way, the string won't move at all. If I move this down, it's going to get that horrible sound again. Or if I kind of take it off. So keep him down. And you'll get that noise like that. And then you can carry on back down. And then we do a hammer-on 10 to 12. Okay, fantastic. Have a little try yourselves, guys. So you're going to go from 10, 8, 8 underneath where it says D minor. Give it a try. Welcome back, Karen. We're just trying the measures that are on the screen at the moment with the hammer on and then a pull off. Okay, and you can see it's a hammer on pull off because you've got the 2 ties there, the 2 ties on the 7-8-7. Okay, fantastic. Okay, let's come back again. So let's have a look at the next section. We're doing really well now. We've done, because there's a lot of repetition here, so don't panic. You've done a lot of it already. Let's have a look at the last 2 notes of the first page into the second page, going 10-8, and then we've got a slide. So this one's a bit of a tester because you've got to really think about your fingers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my little finger at 10. And then use my third finger at 8. And then I'm going to slide with my first finger 5 to 7. Okay, like that. So if I put that all together, then I come back down and up again. Okay, if I put that all together from the 10 and 8 at the start of the first page, that will sound like this. Okay, a little bit tricky. I'll do that with the sheet music off. 2, 3, 4. Fantastic. There we go. Karen was just saying she finds the pull off easier if you have a callus on your finger and pull towards the floor instead of sideways. Yeah, I that's a really good skill to have, Karen, when you're pulling downwards. So when I do a pull off, I'll often pull down towards the floor because you get more of a note, whereas if I pull straight up, it's there but it kind of disappears a little bit. So yeah, that's actually a good thing to practice. All right, so have a go from the last 2 notes of the first page and then into the next page. Give it a go yourself in your own time. Take your time. And then we're nearly there, guys. So I'll just talk you through the next bit and then we'll start chord melodying it up. I know the time's getting on, but we had a good break in the middle, didn't we? With all the sound problems. Okay. All right. Fantastic. Now this next bit is really simple, where we're just coming down the fretboard. So we've just played that 10-8-8 up on measure 22, and then we're going to do the 8-7 at the end into the next bit. It's really nice and simple, this 8 7 5 6. Okay, so I'll say them as I play them. 8 7 5 8 7 5 3 1 off 2. Okay, so we're just coming down the scale basically. That takes you to the end of measure 24, and that will look like this from the 8-7. I'll do that again, sorry, I'm just getting my fingers right. Fantastic. So that one's quite nice because they're all pretty much the same note lengths, aren't they, apart from that last note, so you can just work through that nice and slowly. Now that's basically it, because the whole of the next section just repeats exactly what we just did. So that's pretty much all of the notes that you need to know on this one. There's a little bit on measure 28 where we go 10 12 10 12 instead of, but that's such a small change. I think you'll be able to work on that yourselves. That'll be absolutely fine. So let's whiz on. And what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at the chord melody version of this now. So generally when we do a piece of chord melody, first of all, we have to decide where we're going to put the chords. Notice here I've put the chords on beats 1 and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that means that we get a really strong kind of pulsing sound, and it's a bit easier to do than putting them say on the offbeat. So that's what I've done in terms of the chords. Then what I do is I play whatever chord is happening at the moment. So in that first measure, the chord was a C chord. Now the brilliant thing about a C chord is that notes that make up a C chord are C, E and G. And then we repeat a C down here, don't we? But the brilliant thing about that is when we've got melody notes that we need to add to a C chord, we just play wherever the melody note is. So that first chord, instead of doing a C like this, we're just going to do it like this at 5. Notice there it gives us the sound of our C chord, but also we get the melody note, which is this 5, okay? Now let's talk a little bit about technique. What I want you to do for this, rather than using your thumb to drag down like we normally do, I want you to drag the nail of your index finger down, like so. Or you could do a roll or a pinch on the strings like that. I like to just roll down, I find that nice and easy. Then we kind of complete the rest of the melody that we're doing before. Have a listen to this. And then I strum on 7 now. So I'll do that with the sheet music up so you can follow. So this is that first measure there. All right, from the 5, 3, 4. Okay. Now this next one's kind of interesting. See this C here with the 3 and the 4 and the 0. Why am I doing that? Well, the melody note at that point was this G note, followed by 2 E's, right? So I kind of want to make sure we've got that G note in there. And then if I just strum down as far as that G note, or I could pinch all 3 like this. That's kind of nice as a C chord with a G note in it, but there's no E note because there's C here, there's G here, and another G here. So the reason I'm playing this unusual shape, 0, 4, 3, is I've got a C note. No, I haven't. I've got a G note, sorry. An E note and a G note, which I think sounds really beautiful. You could even add the C note by doing this if you wanted. But I think it sounds fine like this. Now, what I do with the 3-part chords where I've got 3 strings is I'm just going to pinch them. So this chord, I'm going to hold down this A shape and pinch like that. If you can roll the strings so you hear G string, then C string, then E string, you get this nice roll. And then just a bit faster like that. But you can just pinch as well. Just make sure you're really digging in on this E string. And then take away your fingers and pinch open. All right, so that measure with the C chord in will sound like this. And then we could play the next one with the F chord in with the same method. Now, if I put that all together, I'll just play that once so far. I'm going to do it exactly on the screen so you can see where we're going to. So the whole of that first line we've got on the screen so far, that will sound something like this. F chord strummed, whoops, and pinch like that. Okay, now that will look like this up close. And then I strum my F chord all the way and then hit this F note. There we go. So see how we've got, if I play that quickly, sorry. We've got the melody coming through as well as the chords, which is really beautiful, isn't it? And the great thing about this one is if you want to practice it slowly, because it's really tricky, it sounds really beautiful. So don't feel you've got to go really fast. Take your own time. Have a go at that first bit. I'll just kind of shush in the background so you can have a little try on your own. Just think about the timing using the melody that we did before. Okay. Fantastic. Okay. Then let's have a look at the next section then. So here's where we kind of stay down the fretboard. I'll bring it in close so you can see. And we just finish the phrase basically. So here we've got okay. Now what's happening here, because they're just 3 note chords, I'm using just 3 fingers to pinch like so. So you get the sound of the chord coming through and the notes as well. It's a lot easier than strumming because you don't have to worry about stopping at a string with this finger. You just pinch in the strings. And And it's really important you dig in on that E string, because otherwise you might hear the wrong melody note come through like this. See how I've lost the melody on the chords, whereas that way you hear the chords coming through. I'll bring it in again, we'll do it together. 2, 3. That's it. You try it on your own for a second. Fantastic. Okay. Now that basically that's a technique that we're going to use for all of this tune. We're going to include the melody note in the chord. We're going to strum to it if it's 4 strings, and if it's 3 strings, we're going to pinch them. So it just makes it easier, and we get a nice kind of juxtaposition from the sounds, which is really, really lovely. So the next bit is almost like a repeat of the first bit, only we've got some real bells and whistles on this, okay? So we've got the strum chord at 5, and then we're going to do this 8th fret, and we're going to strum to it, hit the 7 and then the 5. It'll sound like this. Now it sounds way more complex than it is. Let me bring it really up close so you can see what I'm doing. So I strum 5, 7, little finger on 8, and then I strum it and take away this little finger. Isn't that cool? So you get a pull off whilst the chord's going on, like that. So put that together. And then I do this 0, 4, 3 as before. And then this time we're just going to slide 2 to 4 and pinch the 0, 4. That gives it that sound of almost like a mandolin or fiddling type sound, where we get all these ornamentations, the pull-offs and the slides. They sound really lovely. That would sound like this. Might take a bit of practice, that one, but you'll get it with time. I'll do it one time without again. Sounds great once you've got it. Have a little try, guys. I'm going to be relatively quiet in the background. It might take a little while to get really kind of comfortable with that, but you'll get that when you play it around. Let me know if you've got any questions at all. I'm always here to help, basically. Then we kind of finish off this phrase. Don't worry, again, we've got repetition in a second. But if I just bring in these next few measures like this, okay, going from that F measure, this is quite nice. It's playing out of shape. So we have F strummed, G strummed, and then a hammer on this 0, 0, 0, 2 C chord. I'm not going to play the 5 at the end because that belongs to the next phrase. So notice I play out of an F chord, out of a G chord, and then I can leave this finger down like so. Let's try that together. Okay, 3, 4, F, G chord, up to 5, and hammer on. Yeah, you've got it. Let me know how you get on with that, guys. I'll leave it up for a minute so you can have a little go of that if you'd like to yourself. Okay. Now, you'll be relieved to know that actually that covers quite a lot of ground, even though that's only the first 2 lines. that basically we repeat that all over again. We'll have a go. This might be too tricky for you guys to do straight off the bat, but we'll try it from measure 9 right through to the end of the next line. I'll bring it on screen. I'll play it whilst it's up there, and then you just have a go. You can simplify it and get rid of the hammer-ons and stuff if you really want to as well. But this will sound something like this in slow-mo. F chord. Next line, measure 13. Slow. F chord. G chord. And hammer. Okay, I'll do that in close cam so you can see what's happening. So this is from measure 9. Whoops. Fantastic. Wen's just asking if I can play measure 5 to 6 so you can hear the rhythm. I'll just bring that back up and I'll play that for you as well. So 5 to 6 will sound like this. Now the important thing about that, Wayne, is that the notes on the 8th fret come so quick. This is almost instantaneous, this pull up. And then you hit that 5 straight after. That's what makes it so challenging. But with a bit of practice, you'll get that, guys. Absolutely. Right, we're doing really, really well. Sorry I'm whizzed through this last bit quite quickly, but I'm just a bit conscious of the time because I had that massive break whilst the technology failed me in the middle. But I'll keep going as long as you guys are right. I'll keep going and let's talk through the next bit. So this next bit is basically going from the last 2 notes of measure 16, the 10 and the 8 up there. And again, we're still keeping the same principles going where we're strumming to wherever the melody note is in the chord. If it's 4 notes, we're going to strum all the way down with our index finger. If it's 3 notes, we're just going to do a pinch using 3 fingers of a right hand. I like to use my thumb as well. Okay, I'll just play it with the notes up on screen. So I'm going from 10 and 8 at the end of measure 17. Notice I'm going right up to the 10th fret. Let me do that again, just get my rhythm a second, sorry. Okay, I'll do that again with the close camera on so you can follow it. 10, 8, 7, 7, 8. 7. Okay, just like that. Then we've got a really unusual chord. I'll put that on screen so you can have a quick go. So 10 to 8. Okay. Then coming up next, we've got these really unusual D minor chords. These are really kind of, one of them is really easy to explain. The other one not so much, which is kind of interesting. If we have a look at the second D minor chord, I'll show you that one first. You see that second D minor chord on measure 18. Basically what's happening is I've taken an A minor chord shape. That's an A minor, isn't it? You know how if you take that up and you bar the 1st fret, you get a B flat minor, B minor, C minor, D flat or C sharp minor, and D minor. We're basically playing out of this shape, so it's like an A minor shape, but right up at 5 and 7. Now that's really tricky because we've also got to add these other melody notes, such as the 8th fret up here of the G string, of the A string, sorry, which is really tricky to do. So sometimes this isn't a cheat. Lots of arrangers do this, including Jake Shimabukuro, who's obviously like, well, one of the best in the world, and James Hill. Quite often, rather than playing a really awkward chord like this, what we'll do is we'll just simplify it to 3 strings to make it a lot more accessible. And that's what we've got here. So when we do the 5-5-8 D minor chord, see at the end, kind of halfway through measure 18, we're just going to do 3 of the notes. So the way you can do this is by doing a mini bar at the 5th fret, and then either your little finger or 3rd finger here. So that's a 5-5-8 D minor. Notice that little X on the diagram saying not to play the G string. Okay, that's really, really important. And similarly, that's what we've got when we go up the fretboard as well to the other D minor shape, which is a bit more unusual, this 9-10-10. I kind of think about this looking almost like a bit of a reverse G minor 7. So I put a finger on the 9th fret up here of the C string. Just go right up to the 9th fret there. You can find a 9th fret because there's a gap of 2 between 7 and 10. And then either using 2 fingers or just 1 finger barred, we bar the bottom 2 strings of the 10th fret. Isn't that pretty? A really nice D minor up the fretboard. Again, notice that on the sheet music, you've got that X on the diagram and the 9th fret telling you where to go. All right, so it's quite a way up this one, but really, really, really nice chord. So let me just get this bit right. I'll just do measure 16 now that we've just done, going into this bit. Really tricky, but I'll play it with the sheet music up first, then I'll do it without. So I'm going to go from that 10-8, okay, at the end of measure 16. That takes you to the 2 D minors. Now, if you notice it looks and sounds really tricky, but if you think about the chord shapes, they're not too bad. Notice there that when I go from this D minor up here, sometimes I use 3 fingers, sometimes 2. I can buy myself a bit of time for the next chord by just putting my little finger on this F note here and then put my index down afterwards. So you don't have to land both chords straight away. See how that chord buys you a bit of time. So I'll put that whole section together. Let's do it together, the sheet music. So this is at the end of this 10-8 here, okay? We're going to do that 10-8 and then we'll play the next bit. 2, coming after 2-3. 2, 3, 10-8, strum 7, 7-8, strum 7, 5-8, funny shape at 9 and 10, pull back to 8, and yeah, nice. So I'll do it one last time on close cam and that will allow me to show you the next bit. You could try playing along with me if you want. 2, 3. Now notice that leaves me in this shape here. And I'm going to keep that shape down just for ease when I do this 7-8-7 hammer-on pull-off. Sorry, what am I doing? I'm going to use this finger, sorry. See how I'm doing a pull off and a hammer on using my last two fingers. Now that's easier because I've just done this. So my fingers are kind of in the right place for that one there. It's really sweet. So you hammer on 7 to 8 and just take it away again. Like that. If you want to pull with this finger, you can. Or you can just keep it really light. Okay. And then we pull right back to this G shape. Now this is important because this G shape contains all the notes that we need for the next bit. The temptation is to play it like this. I'll bring it on screen. It's the kind of G in the middle here, this one here that I'm kind of zooming in and out on. Now try not to play it the way it's written. I know it sounds crazy, but the only reason I've drawn the chord diagram that way is that Sibelius won't let me put two dots on the same string. It gets confused. It thinks you've got too many fingers or too many notes. So what I want you to do for this one to make this next bit easier is to hold down a G chord like so, just your normal G major. Reach up with your little finger to the 5th fret like this, okay? And we're just going to strum down. That gives you G with a high D. And then look, you can move that little finger back to 3. Take it away gives you 2. Take off this finger for off. Then we pinch the top 3 strings. Put that finger back down and up to 5. So rather than having to kind of do all this, which is kind of awkward because we're coming in and out of a chord, notice how smooth my fingers, they don't have to move very much. 5, 3, 2, off, pinch, 2, 5. Okay, have a little try that. I'll bring it on screen. So after the pull off, hammer on, pull off even. 2, 3, 4. And again, 3, 4. 3, 2, off, pinch, 2, 5. Yeah, cool, fantastic. Next bit again looks really hard, but it's relatively simple. We just go right up to the 10th fret and we're going to hammer on to the 12th fret. Now notice I'm allowing that chord to ring out. It's not notated because the chord is notated as a quaver, but let the whole chord ring out. It sounds really nice. The reason I don't notate it with a load of ties is it just looks really busy and people get confused if I do that. So from 10 to 12, just strum, hammer on to 12, and then come off for 10, and then strum. So, okay, notice my right hand comes down, picks up and down. Okay, really nice, really nice. Let's try it for the sheet music. Okay, this is from, let's see if I can get the right bit, just this bit here from the 10. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, really nice guys. Then basically we've got another bit of repetition, but this time we're going to zhuzh it up a bit. Again, this next bit's optional if you want to play it the way I do it. It just makes it a bit fancy pants. I think on the demo, which was probably about 7 hours ago now, with all the technical problems we had, I might have gone wrong here because this is where my my sheet music went forward and backwards all in one go, which wasn't very good. Let me show you how it should have sounded. Where basically you're going to do a strum on this chord. It's an A minor with a high D. And then you take away the chord and move that little finger, sliding it up to the 7th fret. The reason it works is these two notes of the A minor are still ringing out. Like that. That's a slide. Looks way more difficult than it is. And then 7, 8. And then this chord's really beautiful, this A minor. We create this shape. Okay, so almost like a reverse A shape on 4 and 5, and then little finger here on the 7th That allows you to use this one for the 5. You can flatten down for the 3 if you want. No, you can't. You can't move back for the 3. I'm being daft. And then up to 7. Okay. So that will look like this. Okay. If I put that together with a bit before. Okay. Let's try that together with the sheet music. Okay, going from the glissando, that nice slide up the fretboard from 21, 3, 4, 7, 8, back to the chord. Let's try that one more time from 21, 3, 4. Yeah, lovely. Next phrase is just like we did before. We've got these 2 unusual D minor shapes up the fretboard. The first one is this shape. Isn't that glorious? You could use your finger, or you could pinch, or you can even use your thumb. I like to just kind of do a little pinch on that one. Okay. Back to A, little finger. Just like we did before. And then 8, 7. This time we're going to play the chord, hold it down. So this time notice it's slightly different. Because here we need to come out of the chord and into measure 20, 24. I'll bring it up like this. So this is from the G bit. Close again so you can see it. All right, so let's try that together one more time from that G. 3, 4. Into measure 24. And then, guess what? This next bit from this 10 and 8 here, we've done this before. I'll play it through slowly. Then the hammer on pull off. Going into 28. Up to 10. Okay, so that's just like you did before last time, which is fantastic. So let's take it from this 10 and 8 here, and let's just play it through to the end of measure 28. Okay, I'll do it on and off so you can see. Let's do it on whilst you're still playing along. Okay, so 10, 8 at the end of measure 24. 3, 4. 7, 7, 8, 7, 5, 8, 7, funny shape up at 9 and 10, back to 8, and funny shape there. Hammer on pull off, G, partial G, up to 10 and 12. Fantastic. Yeah, there's quite a lot going on here, Karen, in terms of fingering. You have to really think about this and work on it slowly. It's kind of interesting, if nothing else, the process, because you see that when I was arranging this, I had to really think about what would work on ukulele and what wouldn't. So it's all about the fingering here, I think. So if I go from 10-8, notice I'm using my fingers coming back. Okay, and then I can slide that back. I've got a finger here to go back to 5. Okay. This one buys me time, remember. I can stay there for the hammer on pull. And then G shape. keep it there. And then I use any finger as long as I've got one free to hit the 12th fret. Then I've got 10 and 8. Let's just bring it back on again. And then this chord, which is really beautiful, this unusual A minor. It looks like this. Little finger on 7th, and then these two here on 4 or 5. We did it earlier. It comes from this shape, an A minor shape like this, which actually in fact comes from an F minor shape that's been moved up and up and up basically. But to make it easier, we just play the bottom 3 strings, so you can just do this shape here. Up to 8, you do it again. Okay, and with the sheet music, this is measure 29 now. It will look and sound like this. Then we go up to 9 and 10, this shape again. Back here, okay. So that's the measure 28, that's measure 30, okay. So we've got the D minor shape, back to A, and then that other F minor shape. And then you can hammer on or just play these 7, 8, 7. As is, you could hammer on and pull off, or just... And then to finish off, we're nearly there, guys. You've done so well. The bottom line. Yay! You've made it. You've made it. Now, don't forget to breathe, whatever you do. This is one of the hardest ones we've ever done. And it was made harder by the fact we had to break the lesson up into 2, which probably threw a load of you, including myself, actually. So really take your time with this. Rebecca has got a really good point. That economy of movement is what makes it really, really beautiful to play. And it only works if you think about that economy of movement. If you're kind of, oh, sorry, I just made that comment massive. If you're kind of coming in and out of the chord and coming on and off the strings, you're kind of, it'll sound a bit staccato. But if you keep that nice flowing sound, it will work really, really well. Don't worry, Laura, that's a tricky measure 24. Let me just look back. 24. So let me play that slowly for you, measure 24, so you can hear it, Laura. So that one, it will sound like this, and look like this. It's kind of like just a tag ending. So that's pinch, 3, 3 off, pinch. Okay, so that's like a little tag ending at the end, basically. So yeah, you've got it. And Karen makes a good point. So if you find yourself going tense, I know Fran's kind of half joking about the not being able to breathe, but I do it. Sometimes I get really self-conscious because I have some chest issues that I've had for quite a while, and heart issues. It all goes together to make things a bit awkward. But sometimes when I notice when I'm tense and I'm recording, I notice I will actually hold my breath for certain bits. And then you'll hear me breathe. And suddenly it sounds like this asthmatic guy in the background, the heavy breathing. So it happens to all of us, all right? So, you know, it's all good. Oh, Laura's just saying from 27. I'll try that again for you just in a sec. Let me have a look. 27. Okay, yeah, let me do that into the next one, Laura. So I'll play it with the notes up, and then I'll take them away. So 27 will sound like this. And then if I do that really slowly, just so you can see it. So G shape, remember? Little finger. 3, 2, off, pinch. Rest for a second here, and then up to 10. Okay. So you've got quick, quick. Slow, slow. Quick, 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 Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that should help. Oh, no worries, guys. Yeah, no worries, no worries. Thank you. Isn't it a gorgeous tune? I really love it. Once you get it, it will sound really terrific. And like I say, you can play it really slow, or you can speed up and play it kind of at speed as well. So just kind of take it slow as you're learning it, and you'll get there as you go. Absolutely. I think what I'll do, just to finish off, let me play it all the way through really slowly on close cam. So I'm not going to be able to do this and this at the same time. So if you've got the sheet music at home, you can just follow along on the sheet music. If you're ready to play along, give it a go. I am going to go way below tempo, so it's going to be nice and simple. And because I'm scared of this pedal mucking up again like it did last time, when I change pages, I'm going to pause slightly. So I might pause about halfway through, but I'll talk you through it. All right, let's give it a go. Let me just bring it up on my iPad so I can see it. There we go. Okay, right. So really slowly, guys. It will look and sound something like this. Get your finger on the 5th fret. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next line. Go again into measure 9. F chord. Measure 13. Chord, and we're going to go up the fretboard to 10 and 8. D minor, right up to 10 and 12. Pause whilst I just move my sheet music, 10 8, and then we're going to do our slide. Up to the unusual chord up there, lovely, and then 8 7, G chord, right up to 10 and 8 again. G shape, 10 and 12, back we go again, pull off and hammer on, G shape, and breathe. and breathe. So really quite a lot to think about for that one. But remember, all of these pieces are a means to an end. So even if it's just getting you practicing your hammer-ons and pull-offs, trying slides for the first time, thinking about that kind of economy of movement, take your time with it. Don't expect perfection straight away. And as you saw when I did the demo, if you lose your place in the song, it's really difficult to get back in. So take it really slowly. And what I would do is take it in sections and memorize little bits at a time, for sure. Rebecca, level is probably quite advanced actually. I find this a struggle to do at a high tempo. It is doable, but it's quite difficult at a high tempo. So I like to just kind of reduce that that tempo down a bit and play it almost like as a ballad. And I think that sounds really, really beautiful. I don't go crazy fast in terms of kind of the tempo. I probably do something like. Let me just get my fingers in the right place. Something about there, not kind of crazy fast. I mean, some bit the original's kind of would be like, but that's really tricky. Somewhere about. Something like that would be quite nice, but obviously I need to practice it because I didn't play that perfectly. I went a little bit wobbly at the end of that bit. So remember, it's just all about kind of learning the process, taking a little bit at a time. And thanks for bearing with me, guys, and especially to everyone that came back after my after the technical problems. So we've way overrun and you've stuck with me, so I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. If anyone joined in halfway and they don't know what on earth is going on, we had some technical difficulties in the middle. So if you enjoyed the second half and you'd like the sheets and everything, they're still available on the website. Just go to mattsteadukulele.com and you'll be able to find it. Yeah, exactly, Laura. Tempo is really hard, all right? So that I just wanted to do another one from the fiddle tunes. So yeah, take it easy. I don't know, Jonathan Lewis. I have to look it up. Yeah, I have to look it up, Karen. Sometimes what makes these fiddle tunes tricky is that they're often played on instruments like violin, where you can make very quick movements with very little movement, or mandolin, where you play with a pick and you can really hit notes like super quick, you know, using a pick up and down like that. And obviously on finger picking is quite a bit harder. So yeah, it's quite a tricky one on ukulele, which is cool. Now these live lessons won't always be this hard. I picked a really tough one today, so thank you for bearing with me. I really appreciate it. If you enjoy kind of your chord melodies and that sort of thing, join me this coming Monday for our inaugural Melodic Mondays, which I'm really excited about. We're going to look at my piece Pale Pale Moon, which is a really sweet kind of finger style. Where we're using kind of all sorts of finger techniques to get a beautiful tune to come through. And some of those Melodic Mondays are going to be really simple. Then, of course, we'll be back in 2 weeks' time for our next Can a Cappella Mondays. The one thing that I hadn't told you guys about, if anyone's still there, I'm going to try and bring it up on screen really quickly, is our next live lesson. I'm quite excited about this one. I did a similar thing with this one a little while ago, where I looked at modes for soloing. I'll bring it on screen. There you go. And you know, I talk a lot about music theory. It doesn't need to be scary. I want it to empower you, to enable you to do great things. What we're going to do is we're going to look at using modes to solo with. So these little patterns that you find all over the fretboard. So when you're soloing, you don't end up just playing kind of in one position. So instead of, you know, when we do Can a Cappella, we often just end up going up and down the A string. I'm going to show you how to use modes to play the same notes all over the fretboards, and it's going to allow you your solos to be able to go all over the place without getting stuck just going up and down that A string. So that's going to be in 2 weeks' time today, and that's going to be using modes to solo with. don't be scared of music theory. It really helps you. And that's going to be Wednesday, 14th of May. I'll put the sheets up on the website probably tonight or probably tomorrow now, actually, because I've overrun a bit, haven't I? I'll stick them up on the website tomorrow so they'll be ready to download in advance. And that one will be in 2 weeks' time. Well, take care, everyone. Hopefully I'll see you this coming Monday for our lovely Melodic Mondays. Really, really looking forward to that. Thanks for bearing with me as well. I think my brain went to mush a couple of times there, but you stuck with me. Really appreciate it, guys. Much love, and I will see you again very soon. Cheers, guys. Go and enjoy that sunshine.